So what's do Latino and welcome to a new video. Today we are going to take a look at the 5 new Incarnons. Yes, new week, new rotation, new Incarnons, and we're going to take a look at all of them, their evolutions, their build, and everything you need to know about them. As a tiny disclaimer before we start, those are Incarnon's weapons. They are made for like late game SP content, right? So if we say an Incarnon is bad, it doesn't mean that it's bad, right? It's only in comparison to other Incarnons, it might be a little bit underwhelming or underperforming, right? So bear with me about that. If I say an Incarnon is bad or good, it's only in relation to other Incarnons and their performance. But any of those, whether it's the Sybaris, the Dera, the Sicarus, the Cestra or the Okina, they can absolutely, all of them, obliterate the start chart up to level 150, 200, 300, whatever you want. They can obliterate all of the map in every mission. Alright, with that out of the way, we can get a look at our first weapon, the Sybaris. So the Sybaris, from what I could grasp from the community, a lot of people absolutely love this weapon. It's not really the case for me. I don't really like it, but yeah, it's in terms of performances, it gets the job done. But in my opinion, it is missing a point. So, well, let's take a look at the evolution first, and then I will explain to you what I mean by that. So, headshots to charge the Incarnon, transmutation, outfire, transmute, switching back will expand, blah blah blah. You know that. We go from a burst 2 weapon to, with the Incarnon, a burst 4 weapon with max charges of 200 and quick mass 50 shots. So basically we've got 50 bursts of 4 bullets. And already something that is not noted, but in the damage here in the Incarnon forms, there is no blast here, but it will proc blast on every single bullet, right? So it will be very easy once you get some multi-shot to reach the 10 procs of blast on every single shot, in every single burst. So first evolution, we are going for the blazing barrel. We want the multi-shot, stacks up to 10 times, so we got 50 multi-shot for free, which is way better than increasing the base damage. For the second evolution, you want to go for the weapon recoil, unless you have a Riven that gives you some recoil, right? In that case, you can go for the magazine capacity or the reload speed. In my case, I would go for the reload speed if I get a Riven with a weapon recoil. But that's up to you. If you don't have any recoil mod or any recoil stat on your weapon, absolutely go for the marksman's end right there. It's mandatory. And for the last evolution, you don't want this one, it doesn't make sense. I had a brain fart when I read that one, and I think even D had a brain fart when they put it in the game. It's not clear. Effect doubles in Incarnon form, but it doesn't show that it gets 10% status. It's very weird. It should be getting 10% right there, but it's only getting 5. So very strange, and yeah, doesn't make sense when you go here. Alright, Survivor's Age, you gain 10% base status, so already better than this one, and 5% critical chance, which is I think the best one out of all of them. You don't really want the damage percentage, because again, it's additional damage and not multiplicative, so you don't really want that, right? It's kinda useless. You've got your primary deadheads or merciless, you've got your galvanized aptitude, your serration, your amalgam serration. We've got plenty of ways to get base damage. You've got Vex armor if you play Chroma. You've got plenty of ways to increase your base damage. We absolutely don't want that, and we would prefer to gain some status chance and critical chance. So Survivor's Edge will be our best choice for the evolution 4. Alright, as for the build, I have a very new player approach right there. Alright, so Galvanized Aptitude and Galvanized Chamber. You absolutely want the Galvanized mods for the Incarnon's weapons. Galvanized Chamber, Aptitude, Shred for a little bit of fire rate, and some punch through. Sorry, I cannot speak. English is hard. Some critical chance and critical damage. Of course, if you don't have critical delay, you can absolutely go for point strike. It's up to you. Depends of what you have access to as well, and of course if you've got prime shred you can put it right there. Right, rifle elementalist, because the 90% status damage will proc on the blast. I forgot that it's not showing there, but it will proc on the blast, so you will gain the status damage on your blast procs whenever you shoot your Incarnon, right? And here you can either go for stabilizer like this if you want some recoil, because this weapon needs it's terrible if you don't have any minus recoil stat. It's terrible, it's absolutely horrendous. So yeah, you can put stabilizer, or you can put vigilent supplies if you want some orange crits, and sometimes, rarely, some red crits. It will be a little bit more rare, unless you go for the Sybaris. I think the Sybaris has a much bigger base crit chance value, so you can absolutely go red crit territory with the Sybaris. You can also go for Galvanized Scope here, if you prefer. You can absolutely do so if you want some additional critical chance. This is up to you, but for a more, let's say, comfy weapon, a more usable weapon, I'd rather go for Shred for the fire rate. If you don't have arcane acceleration, or if you don't play Wisp, go for Shred. In our case, we are eating some corrupted heavy goons, so we are going for viral. You gotta do a bunch of headshots to charge it. It's a little bit long, in my opinion, a little bit too long, but it does the job. It's not terrible either. When you go against very low level units, you will struggle to get it charged, so bear that in mind. Alright, we gotta charge that bullshit. We gotta charge the arcanes, right? Deadheads. We do some headshots. You can see it does absolutely melt corrupted goons level 220 SP. But yeah, it's decent, but it's not amazing, I would say. It's not well, yeah, it does the job when you get all your arcanes and stuff charged, but you can see it can absolutely melt, and I didn't even use roar, but it can absolutely melt steel pass units like so. It's a very good weapon. Performance wise, it's pretty good, but I think this weapon kind of misses the point. It's an Incarnon. With an Incarnon you expect some changes in the way the weapon feels or handles. In this case, you get a burst weapon that transforms into a burst weapon. You go from 2 bullets to 4 bullets. It's kind of disappointing, yes. To me, it's very disappointing. I expected something bigger, better with that. Not only because other Incarnons before got a bunch of changes in their in the way they handle, in the way they feel, but this one doesn't. And I don't know, we've got plenty of mechanics that DE could have used for this Incarnon, such as the Stug or the Sinuid Heliocore, I think. Not the Heliocore, which one is it? The Sinuid Simulor. So yeah, when I say it misses the point, I mean we could have seen a revamp of this mechanic right there. See all the bullets merging and then they explode. You do the same with the Stug, right? It puts a bunch of goo thing, a bunch of chewing gum bullshit, and when they hit the same point, right, they make a bigger bubble and they explode and they deal bigger damage. We could have seen that on the Sybaris. We could have seen something that whenever they hit the same target, the explosion gets bigger or better. So yeah, the Burston can do what the Sybaris does, but better. Like, let me show you. Yeah, a lot of people love it. I don't really understand why, but hey, you do you. I don't really care, I don't really mind, it's your choice. So yeah, we've seen the early setup, let's say. Now here is the setup with a Riven. So I went for fire rate, critical chance, weapon recoil, and negative damage to infested. Of course you can get better than this. You can get critical chance, critical damage, multi-shot, negative zoom. Something like this would be like absolutely god tier weapon, god tier Riven, sorry. But yeah, this absolutely does the job. And as I told you, right, I've got some minus weapon recoil, so in my case I would go for this upgrade right there when I play with the Riven on the build. Another small build, you can go for this one when you go against the Murmur, because they are weak to radiation and electricity. So you can absolutely do that, replace the viral for radiation and electricity, go for some lumbering fragment. 220 steel pass. Yeah, you still need to... oh yeah, I don't have the Riven. Melting. 1.6 millions on the blast proc, 1.1 millions with the roar. Yeah, it does the job. It really does the job. So yeah, it's an okay weapon, but misses the point of what an Incarnon could be and should be. Next up on the menu, we've got the Dera Vendal, the Dera Incarnon, my personal favorites out of this rotation. I've got a weak point. My weak points are the Corpus kind of energy wave bullshit weapons, such as the Opticore, the Arcaplasmor. I love them, and I loved them for so long that this weapon is kind of refreshing for me. So I personally love this one. In terms of Incarnon, headshots to charge, of course, and you fire high power beams and gain magnetic damage. So yeah, on the Incarnon you've got base, magnetic, the damage is a little bit weak, but it's alright. Magnetic is very good against the shields and against the Eximus units, because the Eximus got overguard and we are dealing 50% additional damage to overguard with magnetic. So yeah, it's pretty good in my opinion. We've got 50 charges, sorry, I was still on the Sybaris, but same thing as the Sybaris, we've got 50 shots basically. For the first upgrade, we want to go for the fire rate, because the other one is just some ammo efficiency. It doesn't affect, yeah, it's not really, it's whatever, we want the fire rate, stacks up to 6 times. We prefer this one because like the ammo efficiency doesn't affect the Incarnon, we don't really care. Here you can take whichever you want. I would recommend either the magazine capacity or the projectile speed. The projectile speed makes it easier and better to charge the Incarnon when you're in the normal form and you've got some moving targets and stuff. So yeah, in the simulacrum it's very easy to charge because yeah, AI is not moving, right? So it's easy, but in a mission you've got moving targets and you're not gonna stun all of them every single time just to make an headshot. So yeah, projectile speed makes it slightly easier to charge your Incarnon in a real mission setup. But you can also go for the magazine capacity, because if you increase your fire rate a little bit too much, yeah, the 60 magazine capacity can feel quite a bit low. So it's up to you. I would say try both of them. They are both very good, very reliable. So yeah, they're very good. The last one, however, yeah, we don't really care about when the weapon is holstered or whatever. We don't really care about that, so it's gonna be between the two, and it's completely up to you. Both are very good choices. For the last upgrade, the first one, you can go for it if you don't have any status. However, the critical damage is very good, but for this one, high ground. For this one, you get 25 base critical chance. So 8 plus 25. So yeah, you don't gain 25% of 8, or you don't gain 25% of 30% crit chance. You gain 25 flat. Just like for instance the Arcane Avenger gives you. So if you pair that with the Arcane Avenger, you've got a good 70% flat crit chance. Okay, so that's very good. From my experience, what you can gain, the maximum that you can gain, the maximum crit chance that you can reach on the normal Dera Vandal is 129 without crit chance on the Raven. I will show you that right after, but we are going to max out status chance and crit, but the status chance will give us so much crit chance that it will go beyond the sky. It will reach like amazing proportions of crit chance. It's magnificent. I love it. And this one is kind of, yeah, meh. For me, it's a no-brainer. I go for high ground. For you, if you prefer to get the critical multiplier, it's completely up to you. It's fine. Personally, I use the Tenacious Bond on my pets, so I don't really want or need more crit damage multiplier with this one, and I would rather reach a delicious amount of critical chance, right? So I will go for this one. As for the build, let's take a look at a beginner friendly build. Again, galvanized chamber, galvanized aptitude, shred. Again, you can go for galvanized scope here if you prefer. We go for viral because we hit on orkins. Of course, you can absolutely go for some corrosive like so, if you have high voltage. Of course, if you prefer to use a Prime Bane, I'm personally not using them. I sell them instead at rank 7, so I don't really care about the Bane mods, but you can absolutely go for a Bane mod like so, right? I like the fire rate, I like the punch, oh, I will not do it, I cannot do it, I like the punch through. Sorry, English is hard. And yeah, viral, orkin, shred, critical delay, vital sense, because we need some criticals, and hammer shot, because hammer shot gives us a bunch of status chance and critical damage. We like the status chance because look at this, right? Not only it gives us status, but this status gives us a lot of crit chance, like almost 20% crit chance. So hammer shot is one of the best mods on the Dera Incarnon. It gives you status chance, crit damage, and almost 20% critical chance with the high ground upgrade. I love this mod. It's not a really new player friendly mod because from what I can remember, if I recall correctly, it's a nightmare mod that has like 2% drop chance. You should absolutely start farming hammer shot or buying it if you have enough plats, but yeah, I would recommend trying to farm it instead. As for the last one, you don't need to go for stabilizer. You don't need that, you don't need anything like Vile Precision, you don't need any of this. You can go for Terminal Velocity if you'd like, so you can have the bonus, the 30 magazine capacity, and use Terminal Velocity here to get some projectile speed. It's up to you. In my case, I will go for Vigilent Supplies to get more criticals. Yes, we love the crits. So yeah, this is it. Primary Deadhead because we want to do some headshots, of course. And yeah, not the Lumbering Fragment, we need the EV Goons. Alright, like so. A little bit of fire rate, brrr, charge this shit, charge pretty fast, we love it, and then we will charge the Primary Deadhead. Yep. Once it's, yeah, when it's charged, yeah, it's just like boom, 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 headshot, 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 boom, 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 goodbye. You can absolutely melt the enemies from like pretty much any level. It's pretty easy to charge, right? But if you got moving targets, yeah, that's why I took the projectile speed. But again, it's up to you. In terms of damage, it's alright. It's very much like what you would expect from a beam weapon. Again, if you want to go against murmurs, you can absolutely go for high voltage and radiated reload like this. The problem with that is that radiated reload gives you doesn't give you the status chance that the 60/60 gives you, like this, right? You get reload speed instead of status, so you lose some critical chance as well. If you want to let's say get rid of this problem, you can absolutely go for a galvanized scope like so. The Incarnon got a 3-meter punch through, so it's not necessary to go for shred. So yeah, we can try it this way on the murmurs. Let's go for some lumbering fragments. They are immune to viral, so yeah, remember to change your build whenever you are moving to the murmur. We need to charge the primary deadhead, and what's it getting charged? Yeah, when it's charged, yeah, just GG, red crit territory, and we are just melting everything in front of us. And something that I didn't mention yet, but DE is very good at sound design. They have very good sound design, and strangely, this weapon, when I first get the Incarnon, I don't know, it did something for me. I love the sound of it, I love the feeling of it, I love the visual effects. It's just, you know, it does, I don't know. There is something about this weapon, about this Incarnon in particular, that I really absolutely like, and yeah, I just love it. So I would recommend you try it yourself, and yeah, just give it a shot. It's a fantastic weapon. As for the config A, why do I have some magnetic here? I shouldn't have some magnetic, I should have some viral. Sorry. But yeah, now, this build is, yeah, pretty much the same than the previous ones, but instead of galvanized scope or shred, I use a riven. For the riven stats, fucking crazy. I love it. Critical damage, status chance that will amplify our critical chance, and raw damage. Multi-shot would be better, but raw damage is fine. Negative damage to corpus is alright. We can still hit millions of damage on the corpus with that shit. So yeah, absolutely go for Raven if you can. You can go for, yeah, status chance, crit damage, minus puncture. It would be alright. Damage multi-shot would be alright as well. Punch through, critical damage and toxin would be right. Ammo maximum, multi-shot damage. Yeah, ammo maximum we don't really care, but multi-shot damage, crit damage, status chance, crit chance, all of them are amazing. Go for an armless negative if you can, such as minus zoom or even like minus impact. We don't really care. There is almost like no impact compared to puncture, but yeah, it's up to you again. Next, we've got the Cestra. The Cestra is a very disappointing. It's one of the worst one from this rotation, maybe the worst one out of this rotation, sadly. But it's not bad in any way. I link you back to the disclaimer at the beginning of the video. Anyway, let's get into the evolutions. So yeah, headshots again to charge your Incarnon. Critical chance increased with uninterrupted shots fired. So you want to use the full auto thing and discharge all your charges from the Incarnon form in one go, basically. So it's not amazing because you're just gonna shoot a bunch of heads, then transform into Incarnon, burst your entire Incarnon in one go, and then charge again. A very strange way to go about it. Here you can go, it depends on the frame you're using. On my Wisp I have above 450 armor, so I'm going for the multi-shot. If you can go for the multi-shot, please do. 80% flat multi-shot is amazing from the get-go. Like, you get a free galvanized chamber, the base multi-shot of galvanized chamber, right, for free. It's very good, I love it, thank you very much. But yeah, if you're using more of a shield or overguard warframe, you can absolutely go for it. The critical damage is not bad at all. For the evolution 2, you can go for the reload speed, it's fine, but to me the accuracy and weapon recoil is a little bit better. The projectile speed is not bad either, but yeah, again, it's up to you. You gotta try them. Because it's the quality of life kind of node here, and it's up to personal preference. So yeah, choose whatever fits your playstyle. As for the last one, we are... did I do something bad? We can go for the base critical chance. Oh yeah, this one. The +2 multiplier for the crit multiplier is very good, and you can stack it with the one from the first evolution to get a whopping wondering what the fucking 5x crit damage base multiplier, which is terrifying. You just add 5x base multiplier that then will be multiplied by all your critical damage mods. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Yeah, crazy. Increase base stats chance by 30% of current critical chance. Since you get a lot of crit chance by just using the Incarnon form, basically your crit chance will just ramp up with each shot that you shoot with the Incarnon. You will gain crit chance. So it could be, if you go for a status build, if let's say you only use 60 status mods and you go viral eat or something like this, whatever, but to me the crit damage multiplier is better. You can go for the crit chance, but yeah, we've got a very good base crit chance on the Incarnon form, so we don't really need to add more base crit chance. In my opinion, it's better to get some critical damage multiplier instead. As for the build, don't screenshot this one yet. I'm just going to show you something very quickly, because I told you we can go for a viral eat kind of build, but I'm gonna show you why it could be a mistake. So Cascadia Flare, Galvanized Diffusion, Galvanized Shot. We've got some critical with Creeping Bullseye and Target Cracker. Of course, if you don't have Prime Target Cracker, you can put this one instead. But if you have it, feel free to do so. I just remind you that this is for a more new player-ish experience, right? You should have access to galvanized mods at some point, but if you don't have every single primed variant, it doesn't really matter. It's not an issue, right? It's just for min-maxing that you will need those mods, but otherwise it does the job without the prime mods, and that's why I'm trying to demonstrate with normal mods right there and available mods. So in this case right there, it will not work very good for the viral hit. We want to to charge it first, like this, and then I'm using the Dera. Yeah, there was a small issue with my Cestra. My Cestra was kind of doing a little bit too much right there. You're gonna see. You're gonna understand what I mean. Okay, so we get the Cascadia Flare charging, and you can see whenever an enemy dies, it stops the bullets. So technically I have the best build in terms of damage. Technically I go viral hits. I've got the best build for that, technically, right? For the Orokins. Cascadia Flare gives me 480 base damage, which is a crazy amount of damage, which is twice as much as Hornet Strike. I use viral, that is the weak point of Orokins, and I use it to get my Cascadia Flare and a bunch of damage, but it didn't do well. I had to charge my Incarnon twice to finish this room right there, to kill just 20 guys. So instead of going like this, you will need to go with a little bit of punch through. Okay, so you will put Seeker on it. Yes, it will take a little bit more space, and it's a very expensive mod in a way, because it takes 15 for a bit of punch through. So yeah, it kinda hurts, I know, but you will see it is absolutely necessary. And then you can go for Scorch here to get more hit, and maybe Prime Hit Charge there if you've got enough space. I do not have enough space, mama. Yeah, I do have enough space. You will need another polarity, maybe straight Naramon polarity here to get everything done properly, but you will see it works quite well even with the normal hit charge. Let's show it this way, right? So now I've got 2 meters of punch through. That will be a little bit better, right? So now I take the Cestra, not the Dera, please. Let's put it there, and let's go. Recharge Cascadia Flare, and now you know, now you see, it's getting better. Now, this is performance. This is speed and power. I love it. Alright, so don't go for the viral hit way. It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of a trap to go this way. It's kind of a trap, so do not go viral and hit. Instead, just go pure hit, a little bit of status chance, and go for Seeker. You need punch through. You absolutely need punch through. It's the craziest thing. This weapon doesn't have any punch through, and your bullets will get stuck on the dead bodies when they die, and if they die in the burning animation, and it takes them like 0.5 seconds to disappear, in 0.5 seconds you've spent more than 15 fucking, you've spent a lot of bullets, right? If you've got some, like in the case of my Wisp, when I have some fire rate, of course I will waste a lot of bullets during the time where the bullets don't hit anything. So yeah, Seeker is absolutely necessary on this build if you don't have any punch through. Do I have anything here? Yes, so Galvanized Crosshairs for more critical chance, Galvanized Diffusion, Lethal Torrent, Prime Target Cracker, Creeping Bullseye, Hollow Point, and a Scorch. Hollow Point to get even more critical damage. We can reach an obnoxious, terrifying 14.7x critical multiplier. Absolutely freaking terrifying. Yeah. On this build, you can also go for the Prime, where is it? Prime Hit Charge there, if you put a straight Naramon polarity. Also, when it comes to Exodus, you pretty much don't need any of them. You don't have any side thing that you would like, or yeah, you don't need anything in the Exodus. When it comes to the Riven, you want or need punch through. If you don't have it on the Riven, go Seeker, but having a Riven plus Seeker would be like way too expensive in my opinion, unless you get an absolutely disgusting godlike Riven with like hit, multi-shot, critical damage minus zoom, right? If you get something like this, you can absolutely go for both of them, Seeker and the Riven. But if you don't have, like, let's say if I have this for instance, I would not use that one. I do not use it. I would not use it. I want to sell 50 plats. I'm joking, but you do not want to put a Riven and Seeker on the same build. It's one or the other. So I would suggest, unless you've got an absolute godlike Riven, so I would suggest you to grab a Riven with some punch through, crit damage, multi-shot, or fire, like it, like I've got right there. So you've got your Cascadia Flare charged. You can also do it with Conjunction Voltage, but it will be some multi-shot instead. And with Cascadia Flare, we want the base damage because we don't have any base damage here in the build. So this is our only way to deal with damage. You can get some on your Riven, of course, and then you can just go for something else. But yeah, in my case, I think going for Cascadia Flare is better to get your damage. It's easier to get, right? You only have to stack a bunch of status on the enemies, and the more you stack them, the more the heavier you hit, and so the more you kill, and the more you kill, the bigger you become. So it's yeah, for me it's a no-brainer. Cascadia Flare, eat. No matter what you are going for, whether it's the Murmur, the Orokins, the whatever, just go for it. Alright, just go for the Cascadia Flare, it, and a little bit of punch through. Now with this crazy Riven, what does it do? What does it do? No, that's the Dera. Okay. Are you ready? We've got only 348% Cascadia Flare, and now Machine of Mass Destruction. And I told you this is the worst weapon out of the 5. Bruh. Now let's move on to our other secondary, the Sicarus Prime. The Sicarus Prime sadly is very bugged right now, but you will see it's quite an easy to understand weapon, and it does a lot of damage. It should get patched very soon. I will leave something, maybe when the Sicarus get patched, I will put something in the comment. You will see the pin comment will be about the Sicarus. So if you don't see a pin comment about the Sicarus, it's because it hasn't been hotfixed yet. But when it gets hotfixed, I will leave a comment to tell you whether the evolutions stay the same or not. So you will be sure, just check out below and you will have all the informations you need. For the Incarnon bullets ricochet, we charge with headshots again, as always. So yeah, pretty much the same. It's a burst weapon such as the Sybaris, and it's a burst weapon in the Incarnon. So yeah, I wonder if DE just put them like this because they were kind of forgotten weapons, or OG weapons, if we can say. I don't know, but I don't think they spend too much time thinking about them, about the Sicarus and the Sybaris, because like just putting putting a burst weapon in the Incarnon rotation and it just becomes a burst weapon, kind of feel like it misses the point again, right? So to me, the Sicarus is very good, but it's a little bit disappointing to have a 2 burst weapon that becomes burst weapon. However, we got the bullets ricochet, and that is a very good thing. And you will see, it's a crazy weapon. Well, technically, this one should be the best. This one should be the best because damage on enemies below half, else you will just, yeah, you will gain some damage. To me, in my opinion, once the weapon gets patched, this one will be better. So it will be 1-1 instead of 1-2. But yeah, the King's Gambit makes it so you cannot critically hit the body. So you will never get a crit on a body shot, but you will get 150% critical chance on headshots. We've got a very good critical chance of 30% on the Incarnon, which is a very good base, and we will try to get it better, and yeah, we will just try to make it massively bigger. But for the moment, with the Incarnon and with the Sicarus in its actual state, in its bugged state, we are going to go with the King's Gambit for the critical chance. I will show you some things with this weapon. It's kind of strange, but I will show you some things. For the evolution 3, we want to go, in my case, I want to go for the accuracy and the weapon recoil. Having the two on one, having the two of them on one node feels very good. To me, it should be like this for most weapon, so that you don't get just one stat of quality of life, but two of them in a minor value, right? A minored value of 2 quality of life kind of thing, so such as projectile speed and reload speed, for instance, on the Dera. So for the evolution 4, we have Commodore's Fortune, which is a crazy critical chance increase of 14%, which is pretty good. We go to 44% on the Incarnon. The second one is a 9% increase on both critical and status chance, which is pretty good. And the last one is kind of the same of the Dera, but inverted. Increase base status chance by 30% of current critical chance up to 40%. So you can go with a very high crit chance build and you will get a lot of status chance, but we don't really go for status chance either way, and yeah, we don't really need or want the status chance. We want more criticals. Yes, that's what we want. We want a crazy base of critical chance and we want a lot of crit damage as well. That's what we go for. So yeah, you will see we've got a lot of red crits on headshots and we've got an amazing crit chance base. So yeah, we are just going to use it to our advantage. For the build, Galvanized Diffusion, Galvanized Crosshairs to get even more critical chance, secondary Deadhead for the base damage, Target Cracker, Pistol Gambit. Of course, if you've got upgraded versions of them, you can go for Creeping Bullseye and the Prime Target Cracker right there, right? So it's a more newer player friendly approach. You can go with these ones, and then I would go Lethal Torrent, Base Corrosive, and then some damage. But here you can put pretty much whatever mod you want. You can absolutely go for some fire rate if you prefer. It's completely up to you, or you can go with auto points, right? So you can get even more critical damage like this. So you can just, yeah, stack critical damage on critical damage on critical damage. That's up to you. Again, yeah, fuck, I cannot put it, but yeah, whatever. You see what I mean? Target Cracker, Pistol Gambit, auto point. You don't need anything in the Exodus slot. You don't need weapon recoil. You don't need anything. You've got enough quality of life on the second node on the second evolution, sorry. So yeah, primary deadhead, I said that for the base damage. You can also go for some 60-60, like so. If you don't use Naramon polarities, you can go like so. Pistol pestilence, and then tuck, prime target cracker like this, right? To max your critical multiplier and to reach a very good 9.3x critical multiplier. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, right? Also for the critical chance, I forgot that I put it. I put pistol gambit, but of course, if you want to go with creeping bullseye, you will reach a very good 132% base critical chance. And remember, we get 150% on headshots, and then we gain 120 critical chance when aiming, and more critical chance on headshot kills. So yeah, very good, but you will see this weapon is kinda bugged. Very easy to charge, we love that, but then yeah, it just melts the entire map. It's just it's a crazy weapon. It's what the fuck? What the fuck? This weapon is very good. You gotta aim for the head, and it's just melting the enemies. In my opinion, after the hotfix, this one should be a little bit better. We will see, because with this one you get like no critical chance on body shots, which is a little bit meh. So maybe go for feigned retreat. We will see what the next hotfix gets us, but now this is the setup that I'm gonna use when it comes to the Raven. So galvanized crosshair and diffusion, galvanized crosshairs and galvanized diffusion as well. Again, lethal torrent, pistol pestilence, and jolt for corrosive status, but you can absolutely change it to viral. It doesn't really matter. It only matters if you go against Orokins or Greenier, whatever. Creeping bullseye and prime target cracker for the crit chance and crit damage, and then a little Raven with crit damage and base damage. Not the craziest Raven that we can get, but anything relying on crit or crit damage, reload speed damage, it's alright, it's not terrible. Crit chance, fire rate, ammo, meh. You wanna go for crit damage, multi-shot, crit chance, this kind of stuff. Maybe some elemental as well, because it's you know, in the damage calculation it's better to get some elemental damage as well. So why not get some critical damage multi-shot and eat, for example, or crit damage multi-shot cold, whatever fits your playstyle and whatever fits your build. In my case, crit damage really does the job. It's enough for this weapon, and it's so bugged that I think, it will be enough even after the hotfix. But yeah, as you can see, 7 million, 8.7 million, 3 million, 6 mil, 5 mil, and we are not even getting buffed, right? If we go for a roar, 5 mil, 8 mil, it would be better with an eclipse on this one. But yeah, just imagine that. It should get fixed, right? It should get fixed. 86 mil with the damage reduction from my kitty cat. Yeah, this weapon is crazy. So now we can move on to the Okina. The Okina, so for the Incarnon, reach 6 a 6x combo, and then EV attack to activate the Incarnon form. Kill generates spectral daggers that target enemies applying max cold status stacks. Max cold status stacks means they get instantly 10 stacks of cold, they get instantly completely frozen, and you gain a bunch of critical damage flat bonus on them. You also gain melee damage, sprint speed, and parkour velocity. So this is a very good quality of life stat sticking cannon. It's very good. As for the stats, do we have the stats of the daggers right here? No, we don't have them. But yeah, applying cold, so it means that and just keep in mind, it's not just it has crit damage, it's applying max cold status stacks. Whatever the thing that you put on the weapon, whatever you do, it will apply cold. Even if you use this cold stack, this cold proc, to put viral instead or magnetic, it will proc the 10 stacks of cold. So it's very good. For the first evolution, we want seeing red, because you will see you don't have to do anything to get your combo up to 12. You just have to, yeah, you hit them 3-4 times, bam bam bam, and you got time 12 multiplier. Crazy, absolutely crazy. 6% status damage. It could be good if you go for an only status build and galvanized elementalist, melee influence, this kind of stuff, and you just purely want to go for the status damage. But in my opinion, seeing red is a way better. For the evolution 3, we go for either range, combo timer pauses when weapon is holstered. We don't care about that because of the first evolution. We can get our combo multiplier up very fast. Or the last one, the movement speed. You can either go for the movement speed, it's pretty good. 30% movement speed is very good on any frame, but especially if you go for Volt, Wukong, Ghost that has very crazy 1.5 base speed. Yeah, you can use it on them, you will just be very fast. Or you can go for the range. The range is also pretty good when it comes to just pure combat, right? And if you don't use Prime Rich, it will still be a slight improvement. For the last evolution, we can go for either base critical chance of only 6%. Yeah, that's a little bit sad. We can go for the base status chance increased by 12% and some status duration, which would give us a very good 36% base status, or we can go for a little bit of both, but it's very tiny. It's a very small upgrade of only 2% critical chance and 8% status chance. A very small upgrade, very tiny, but we will have to deal with it. As for the build, I want to show you first this build right there. Blood Rush to get, because we will be at time 12 very fast and very easily, we want Blood Rush. Then we got a bunch of status, so we want to use Condition Overload for the damage, Whipping Wounds to get even more status chance, and we will be at times 12 very fast and very easily, so we want the status chance from Whipping Wounds. Organ Shatter, Shocking Touch, Prime Fury, Galvanized Elementalist, and Sacrificial Pressure. Sorry, no, it's not the... No, Sacrificial Steel, sorry. Yeah, it will work a little bit better like this, right? Yeah, what the... why the fuck would you put Sacrificial Steel? What the... No, don't put Sacrificial Steel. No, don't use that. Don't use that. So anyway, you saw that I don't have any arcanes on this build, and it's just to show you what it looks like without arcanes. So, you want to hit them a little bit, and yeah, times 6 already. That's pretty much it. And then you've got your daggers that will follow you, and they will hit the enemies like so. They will apply 10 proc stacks, 10 cold stacks. And you see, as I have electricity on the weapon, they will also apply magnetic. So they will apply not only the 10 cold status, but also the cold plus electricity. Which is kinda crazy when you think about it, right? So you can put viral on it, and it will apply the 10 cold stacks and then viral on top of it and electricity on top of it, you can do absolutely stupid things. It's very, very, very stupid. Alright, so as you can see, it's very easy to get your times 12 multiplier. It's very easy to get some damage. It's very easy to do absolutely everything and anything. We can go for some viral if you want to get some viral on your thing. But yeah, just keep in mind that it doesn't appear there, right? But again, the spectral daggers will have force proc of cold and cold damage, so they will mix with your with whatever you've got there. So if we go with viral, let's try it. Like this will be better, right? So we've got viral electricity, and we're going for no. Let's not use yet an arcane. Let's go for this instead. So we want to charge the Incarnon, charge very fast with the status, and then oh yeah. So we've got cold, electricity, and viral. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it is. It's absolutely freaking crazy. There you go. Cold, viral, electricity. Yeah, it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid, and it will just. You've got a bunch of crit damage multiplier bonus with the cold procs, with the 10 cold procs. You've got a little bit of yeah, since you stun them, you've got a little bit of survivability. Even so, yeah, we can't really call that survivability, but it's indeed a little bit of survivability, right? So yeah, a very good weapon overall, and it's a very small, very easy to do build, right? What did I have here? Fury, right? You can put Berserker Fury if you prefer. It's up to you. It's up to personal preference. And we want to put, of course, melee influence to spread all this beautiful status all around the enemies. Yeah. Melting them. Absolutely melting them. And that's why I didn't have melee influence at the very beginning, to show you what this weapon could do without it. So now imagine that you mix the two. You've got your daggers, and then you've got the melee influence proccing everywhere. It's absolutely fucking crazy. It's stupid. You can also go for the galvanized steel, and yeah, so you will gain additional critical damage. Stacks up to 4 times, so it's very good. It's fairly good. 120 critical damage. That's very, very good. That's amazing. We keep condition overload, and we use a little bit of Tennokai. You don't want to use, where is it? Amalgam Organ Shatter. You don't want to use that instead of the normal Organ Shatter. Why? Simply because you've got Tennokai. Tennokai here means your wind-up attack from the Tennokai is not affected by the wind-up speed from this kind of mods. So you don't need Amalgam Organ Shatter, right? You don't need it, you don't want it. So instead, just go for Galvanized Steel, just any Tennokai that you want or that you like, whatever, even the base one. We don't really care. It's just to activate your Incarnon and just get a bunch of free EV attacks, but we don't really care about that. So yeah, that's it. Conditional Overload, Blood Rush. You've seen the 2 galvanized mods. Galvanized Elementalist, very, very good. Whipping Wounds, a little bit of attack speed, electricity, and your critical damage. Of course, again, I repeat, the wind-up speed here doesn't affect the Tennokai, so you don't want to use Amalgam Organ Shatter. You want the base one. Now, let's go again for a little bit of fighting with our EV goons. Alright, very good, very good. it's doing the job, and then yeah, the daggers can do some kills here and there. They don't deal tremendous amount of damage, but they are fine. They are doing the job. Oh wait. Wait. Since they deal magnetic, you gotta see what it does against yeah, 20k, right? You've seen that. So basically, magnetic got bonus damage on overguard. So if you use it against Eximus, it will be even better. Can I show it again very fast? K, 7k, yeah, but you can see that a normal dagger would not do 7k or 20k to some 220 EV goons, right? It would not do that much damage. But here, on the overguard, well, they don't have any overguard anymore, but on the overguard, the magnetic proc will deal a lot of damage. So, a very good thing. If you hit an Eximus, it will deal bonus damage because of the magnetic if you go for straight up electricity on your weapon. And if you don't build for... if you hit an Eximus, since you have magnetic and cold procs, the magnetic will have 50% bonus damage against the overguard. But if you don't hit Eximus, they will get stunned by the forced 10 cold procs. So it's a weapon that is good against any enemy in the game, whether it's an Eximus or a normal unit. Very fantastic weapon. A very good weapon. I do recommend it. It's on the level of the dual E-core, I would say. It's, yeah, it's pretty good. Instead of the toxin procs that increase your combo, you've got the slash procs, but it's pretty much the same thing, right? It's the same mechanics. Now it's just, yeah, the dagger, they can do the job, they can just, yeah, come here and stun some enemies, very good. The damage of the daggers are not amazing from what you can see here, but remember that this is level 220 corrupted heavy goons with a lot of armor, a lot of damage reduction, and they are not specifically weak to electricity or magnetic, right? It's only against overguard for the magnetic bonus. So yeah, that's it for today. Tell me in the comments which of these Incarnons you prefer, which one you think fits the more your playstyle, and if you have some recommendations on the builds or whatever, just feel free to tell me everything in the comments and leave a dislike if you want a chroma guide. See ya!